Hello friends, thank you so much for watching. Today I have for you a lip plumping tutorial. This video got inspired by PERISCOPE. I live broadcast several times a week, and almost every single time I do, I always get comments about my lips. I'm not a newsbreaker. We all know that fuller, luscious lips have been in vogue for a little while, and especially Kylie Jenner just put them on the map. But the problem is that I see a lot of mistakes in girls, young women, or grown women like myself. And I just wanted to make sure that no beauty watching my videos is going to do those mistakes and then have to explain why a child has taken a crayon to their face and done this. So I'm going to walk you through a routine that literally takes 5 minutes. Don't let the length of this video discourage you. I had to explain every step of the way. I had to show you the products, so that's why it's taken a little longer. But the more you do it, the more you practice this, the easier it will become and the less amount of time you're going to spend on this. So if you'd like to see how I accomplish this voluptuous lip look, kidding, then please keep watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and definitely connect with me on Instagram and Periscope. I'm there 24/7, so let's keep in touch. I love you for watching. Thank you. So step number 1 is to use a scrub and exfoliate the dry skin, because that will soften and reveal the smooth skin underneath. I know it's a step that we can often think we can skip, but honestly, it will make for a much better canvas to work with, so I really recommend scrubbing first. You can always make your own exfoliator too with some coconut oil and sugar, actually. And if you want to add a little bit of a scent to it, you can always add essential oils, maybe some lavender or eucalyptus. Using a moist towelette, let's remove the scrub, then use a toothbrush to massage the lips. This not only helps remove any leftover gunk on our lips, but it will encourage circulation, which will lead to poutier lips. I like to scrub left and right, up and down, and then diagonally. Moving on, to help avoid lipstick from looking dry and scaly, I really recommend a lip primer. I use this one, and this one also has a plumping effect. I like to give it a moment to dry, and what I like to do in the meantime is correct any powder areas that might have been removed in the process of scrubbing and doing all that. So we are all pretty familiar with contouring because we use contouring to bring out and enhance certain features on our face, right? Well, why wouldn't we do that for our lips as well? That is a little trick. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to contour the bottom of the lip. That, you guys, truly is what gives the impression of a fuller lip. Always make sure that you go with a matte contouring color. You don't want any shine, and don't make it too dark but not too light. It should be in the middle, and that's why I'm actually going to mix these two colors from my Kat Von D what's it called? Shade and Light contouring palette. I'm going to use one of these brushes at first for a little bit more control. I tried doing this, you guys, at the top lip, but it looks dirty. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't look good. And that's why this is perfect for the bottom lip. I don't want to go too far out here because my lips are already kind of like that, so I don't want to look ridiculous. You should start right at the lip line and go downwards a little bit, and then just look at yourself in the mirror. This look is not going to work exactly the same for everybody. For some women, they might have to lower it more. For others, they'll have to stay right at the rim of the lip, kind of like how I am right now. So it really depends on your own lips. This is what we have so far. Once I did this, I'm going to use a flathead fluffy brush and just kind of blend everything. You might need to apply a little bit of powder on top if you didn't blend in right, but for me right now, in person, what I can see, it blended in just fine. Next, we are going to use a lip liner. I recommend using a liner that's very similar to the color of your natural lips. We are first going to outline, and then we're going to fill them in. A couple of tips here. You never want to go with your lip liner like this, because then that is going to create really hard. I feel like I have a hair hanging. I sure do. So you don't want to go straight like this, because that will create some harsh lines. You always want to hold your pencil at an angle, kind of like this. So it's more like the side of the pencil kind of glides up and down, as opposed to drawing, quite literally drawing like this. Now the second tip is this. I know that we want fuller, bigger, more luscious lips, but the reality is that if we go way above our lip lines, we're gonna look not very sexy. It may look cool in Instagram pictures or sometimes even in some of these video tutorials, but the reality is, and what I like to focus on, how does it look like in real life? And I don't want you guys to just go way too high and just create a clowny look. So when we're going to angle our lip liner, we're going to go slightly above the actual lip line so it doesn't look fake, even though we're kind of tricking this look, but it won't look fake. All right, here we go. See how I'm holding it at an angle like that? Now I'm going to fill it in. And then I'm going to lightly dab. If the lip lines are really obvious, you can always use your finger to kind of smudge it out a little bit and not have those really harsh lines. Then we're going to use a highlighter. I'm really excited because I recently ordered a new highlighter in silver from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but until it arrives, I needed one in like a silvery kind of color. And so I went to the drugstore and I got this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Powder Glow Illuminator. Not bad, actually. This is what I've been using on my cheekbones and above my eyebrow today. We're going to apply the highlighter on our Cupid's bow and lightly above the top lip line as well as the center of the bottom lip. The key with the highlighter is that it has to be a shimmery look, not a matte one. And if you don't have a highlighter, you can always use a shimmery white eyeshadow instead. It looks silly, I know. The next step is to take another lip pencil that is at least one shade darker than the one you previously applied. So about 1 to 2 shades darker. And what we're going to do is we are going to contour our lips. First, we need to very lightly go over the edges of our lips again and then fill in all 4 corners using the same angled technique that I showed you earlier. Now we're going to continue drawing our lines. Here's one in the middle, 2 on the sides at an angle, and a V shape on the top lip. Now we are going to grab a light pink or peach lipstick. That is typically the best. And we're going to kind of mix it in a little bit. We don't want to completely get rid of those lines that we just drew, but we want to blend everything in. I am using Fetish Matte from Motifs Cosmetics. Just dab this. Wipe the excess product from the brush and continue doing it. Then I dab a little bit. So we blended, but we didn't completely mix in the lines. And then I'm just going to follow with a little bit of lip gloss. And this is the final product. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget that you can take these techniques or colors that you've seen and simply make them your own. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week in a new video. Bye!